The dogs always do it themselves. I mean, that's quite important in the breeding regulations and rules of the society. The dogs always have to breed themselves, but that does not mean that you can't have some human interference. In a rural landscape, that would happen as well. So the owners of dogs might say, listen, your dog Flash is so fast. Could I let Flash breed with my dog Tembi over here, and we get pups? Sure. So that is allowed to happen, but within a sort of limited context, and it's always based on performance again. It's not based on the way the dog looks. The problem comes in when you are, and then of course you allow it to happen naturally, and if it doesn't happen, if the two dogs don't fancy each other, hey, tough, you don't force it, you don't go to a vet and get some semen from the male dog and artificially inseminate the female, and it's all in terms of a natural process. And if a dog owner might discover that his female is a very poor mother, he'll never breed with her again. It's as simple as that. So even in the rural context, it's not indiscriminate. There would be some human intervention, but it is not a regulatory intervention the way that is managed in Western society, where it gets to the point where you don't even have the dogs involved anymore. You've got rubber gloves and syringes. When you get to the stage in kennel union environments where male dogs just become sperm donors, and you get a dog that's a champion, all you do is extract sperm from him for a year, and his sperm gets sent to any person who is registered to have a litter. The dogs don't even interact. There's no sort of I'll give you an example. The first litter we bred with Dube, I had a farmer that came along, and he had an AfriCanis, and he said to me, his dog is so bold, he's tried to breed her on a few occasions, and she's not taken to any of the males he's ever introduced her to. She is a very dominant female, and he can't get a litter from her because... So I said, okay, I've just got these three boys here. I put the two females that I had at the time, Suti and Mukle, I put them inside. I said to him, when she comes on heat, let me know. He says, well, she's on heat at the moment, that's why I'm here. So I said, okay, I'll put the two females inside. And Dunga and Dube were off at the back over here. They were barking at something or interested in something here. And he brought this female inside, and she saw Duma, who is very similar in size and shape to his brother Dube, but Dube was my leader. He was the dominant of the three pups, and so she got interested in Duma, and he said, oh, it looks like something might happen here. But she was dancing around, skitting around, but she was very interested in this Duma dog. That's the old boy down there. And then at that stage, Dube came running down the mountain. He'd sort of smelt or seen that there was some action down there. He came running down the mountain. This girl took one look at him, spun around, and shoved her behind in his face and said, "Have at it, young man." It was unbelievable to see. So there is an example of how naturally that would happen in a normal natural environment. The female would choose who she's going to mate with. It's not just any dog that comes along. She ends up choosing your good genetic material. So she was quite happy with Duma. Until Dube came along, she was more than happy. She was thrilled, and the mating happened instantaneous, straight away. No fighting, no arguing, no fighting amongst the males even. They just, oh, well, okay, all right. that's the way it happens, all right, and that was it, so there is some human intervention. Even in rural environments, there is, a dog might be favored by its owner because it provides best, it works best in the fields. He's my favorite dog. He gets favored with better food or whatever. So there is some human intervention in the way that this Landrace has evolved, but it is not the same kind of intervention that you find in kennel union practices. And it's for that reason that we are quite adamant. We don't want to force ourselves into these kind of dead ends that the kennel unions have forced upon modern dogdom. Ketiwe's had a litter, and so we spayed her, we neutered her. Tubby we of course neutered straight away because she's not a breeding animal. Dube, sorry, not Dube, listen to me. Dumazulu is, he's not fixed, so he, is still viable. Fezi is still viable because she's a very beautiful example of an AfriCanis. Lungile and Nati we were going to keep also as viable. I would never mate them with their brother. That would be against our regulations and rules in any case. But they are also very beautiful dogs, and so I thought I would not. But Nati has been showing in the last year some quite dominant traits, and so she had tackled her sister and even old Maru a couple of times over the last year. And so we decided we would get her neutered, which we did about 2 months ago, and that has settled her character significantly. She's calmed down quite a lot. So that was a reason why one would neuter a dog. Ketiwe also becomes more manageable. Fezi and Lungi, they seem to be okay. They don't seem to be, so interested in forcing their will on others, because this is a large number of females. In any environment, this is a huge number of females. So one has got to maintain that sort of pack stability. But Lungi I might neuter simply because I don't want the chance of these two mating. But Fezi is not related to Dumazulu at all, from completely different lines. So I would probably keep her unneutered, just on the off chance that I get enough interest for a litter. I only ever breed if enough people say to me, and by that I mean if I get 8 people that say to me, I'm looking for a pup, I will chance a mating. But I don't breed, just indiscriminately and hope for on the off chance. They're not a popular animal to, for a number of reasons, and partly because of this idea that, well, I can just go and pick one up at the SPCA. So they're not that popular, and for that reason I wouldn't breed unless I had fixed a number of homes that had committed to taking a pup, and if that's the case, then it's okay. Well, it's tough. It's damn tough. I can tell you, when they come of age, these boys are, when Dube and Duma and Dunga have been neutered early on, but when Dube and his son Zulu, both unneutered, and the females came on heat, it was a job at times. At times you'd have to rugby tackle as you were changing the dogs through the doors. I've got a courtyard at the back here that's very secure, but you would still have to manage how you're getting the one set of dogs into the courtyard and the other set of dogs out the courtyard. It got quite interesting at times. You'd have to be quite forceful, but no, you've just got to maintain that. And if you can't do that, then you've got to neuter your dogs in any case, because you can't be left with an indiscriminate breeding. It's not right on the dogs, the individual dogs. It's also not right on the landrace, you know, if you want to manage and maintain the you know, good quality animals going forward. So no, it's a physical keeping them apart, fences, gates, you know, that's it.